I want to skip over you for a second here. I'm sorry. But
No, it's
how do you
fine. Go
feel
on. No, go on.
about during the Olympics that the teams were to play?
Like that the players get sent to the Olympics to go play for their countries?
Well, okay, so the Olympics happens, right? People are playing in
Right.
the Olympics. Okay, got Sidney Crosby, whomever, whatever. They all go. But the NHL
Okay.
still
Yeah.
continues to broadcast and also have games as well.
Well, they can't.
Why?
The schedule, they can't change the schedule
Well,
now. Because think
I
about how
know,
many
but
things you have to change.
if you could, would you?
No,
I'm not
you
asking
wouldn't.
to do. You wouldn't want to do that.
No, you wouldn't at all. Because all your star players are going to be playing elsewhere. So these teams that are here are going to be playing AHL players in their place. Like,
Prime
first of
example,
all,
Pittsburgh.
first of all, the owners don't want
Pittsburgh.
that.
Pittsburgh can play without their whole entire roster. Whatever, two games, three games. It is what it is. Wish
Okay,
wash.
but then what's a team like Tampa going to do? Their head coach is going to the Olympics as well to coach Canada.
Well, you got the assistant
Boston, their
coach.
head coach is going to be an assistant for Canada.
There's, I think it should
I
be.
don't.
I think it's possible.
I don't know about
If
that one.
you think about it, like if the Olympics was part of the NHL, it is not. So this is like you want to go, buddy. This is your call. You're going to be putting your team down. Same goes with the head coach. If you have the locker
So
room behind you, go ahead. Like
so
that's really
basically,
what.
you're saying is that you want the NHL to discourage players from going to the Olympics by
No,
not giving them an Olympic break in the schedule.
they can go. They look if they're invited to go, and the NHL allows them to go, then it would be honorable to have
Right.
them go. Okay, it's just that they wouldn't be playing as if they would be injured. Okay, if people don't want to go to the All Star break, it's the opposite, right?
But then, okay, I understand that this year maybe the Olympics wouldn't have that issue because they're being played over in China, so they're all the games are going to be like early in the morning for us here,
Yeah,
and like NHL games are on in the evening. Let's say though it's being hosted in, I don't know, let's say Montreal or like somewhere in Quebec gets
right.
the Olympics, right? The Winter Olympics. Then what? Like, who do you think the people like broadcasters, like, who do you think people are going to watch more? The Olympic hockey games or NHL hockey
Well,
games? I know
that's
personally,
okay.
I'm
You're
going to
gonna
watch an
watch the
Olympic hockey
Olympics.
game
That's
over the week.
okay.
I'm sorry.
You're that's fine, and
That's not
it
okay. That's
is
not okay
okay.
if you're the
But
NHL though, because you're
we're not going to
losing.
be arguing. We're not look. There we're not saying if it was that
I just
year.
feel
Listen. If
this
it
is
was
an
that year,
unrealistic hypothetical.
if it was that year, say if yes they're playing hockey at night, whatever. Okay, regular times, whatever 6, 7, 8 p.m. at night. So then you have
Mhm.
your NHL games going before or after. Simple as that. Just for that, it's not like they're going out for a month there to play. Okay, it's not. It's just a few weeks. You just have it for that
No,
schedule, and
I
you
don't
cut
think
it
that would.
down.
That's
You cut it
not.
down. You make them play 1 or 2 games, and that's it. Just to like it should be a break. It's technically a break. Okay, there's still a break there, allowing the guys that are the top of the top to go out and play even harder, and then the guys who aren't capable or aren't there's not that much roster space in Canada, right? Or any other team for that fact. But there's you can't
Well,
fill
there's
it all in.
23 spots on each roster.
You can only do so much. You can't have 3 Canada teams, all right? You can only have one. So just like
They
having
should though, should they not?
they could easily have 3 teams
Canada can easily ice 3 teams.
easily. Very you could argue
Yeah,
that they're all 1As. So anyways, the point is I think that players should play still. Even if there might be missing a coach, they could have an assistant coach. It happens that they don't make it to regular games. They get sick, or this happens. They go to the hospital. So we have the assistant coach come in. Okay, we're missing regular players. They're injured. Supposedly, they're at the Olympics. Okay, does it? I mean,
Okay,
yes, it might. It's an equal handicap
I have a
because
counter argument.
all the teams would be honored for their players. It could be encouraged. It should be encouraged to play.
Okay, yes. I do have a counter argument though, which is that the players obviously they see this 2 week break or 3 week break, whatever it is in the schedule in February, right?
Yep.
And let's say you're like a fourth liner, right? Like let's say you're I don't know, let's say you're Kyle Clifford on the Leafs, right? You're a fourth liner, you maybe don't get in every night.
Right.
You're looking forward to that time to maybe spend with your family. Maybe some guys have booked vacations because again, this is a rare time that they actually have time during the season
But
to
they
be with
want
their
to
families.
play in the NHL. If you're playing in the NHL, you're
Yes,
making
they do,
NHL
but they also
money.
under
If you're playing in the
yeah, but
AHL, you're not
that
making
doesn't
the
take
same
away
per
from your
day.
pay.
It does. There is a
It does.
change.
I know. No, but I'm saying like the Olympic break doesn't stop them from getting paid. They're still
No,
getting their
it could be the
paychecks every
difference
week
between
or
Kyle
whenever it comes
Clifford
in.
playing in the AHL or the NHL, though. We don't have any more roster spaces for you, so you won't be able to play during this break. Oh, instead of just having this break and then no one playing, then Kyle Clifford, how about you could play in the NHL instead of getting lower pay in the AHL, or some players they actually get more in the AHL. I don't know how that works, but if the case is that he's making more in the NHL, I'm sure that that player would probably like to do this. I'm sure it's not an
Yeah,
unpopular
yeah,
opinion
fine.
either. That there's different scales to it. It's difficult to manage, but I believe that somehow, some way, you should allow for games to a few one or two games to continue, one a week. Hell, that's all I'm asking. I ask we can tweak the schedule. You know, don't have to stress it out. As we were talking with Boston, why are they playing? Got Boston, the Islanders playing the least amount, and Islanders are the ones struggling. They're one of the most struggling, other than the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens have cemented that as
Hmm.
just being a terrible team this year. Um, the Islanders are also in that point. They're also in the same bandwagon of being injured, and like they can't catch a break. They started off the whole entire beginning of the season on the road, and then they just started being at
Hmm.
home. Who makes this up? Who makes these things up? And I think the Olympic
Well,
break is too long. That's it.
well, okay. The reason why they didn't play at home till like last month is because their stadium wasn't ready.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess they
Like
had no
that
choice.
wasn't a choice. That was just that.
Mm,
Yeah, they didn't have a choice. They had to do that to make up for the stadium being ready mid-November.
damn. So
And also they were affected by COVID as well, so they lost a couple games, I think, from that. Yeah, I mean, other than that, they would be at 23 games played, not
oh yeah.
21.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Nonetheless,
Yeah,
that's a
I don't know though that Olympic take that you had, that's a new point of view. I've never thought of that. I've never talked to anyone who's thought of that. So that's just it's very different for me at least to think. But
or you
I mean,
know
hey, it's your
put the
opinion, and that's interesting. It's an interesting take.
do some sort of tournament that time, or take it up, do something to promote hockey within the NHL, and be like, hey, look at, and not obviously put it at the same time as the Olympics, but it would be giving filler content for people similar to the All-Star, but you don't want to completely replace All-Star because you want those stars that are currently in the Olympics to be in your All-Star game, of course, but something close to that,
Yeah.
something
Oh
that you
yeah,
could
because
also bring in fans, crying out loud, like bring in cameos or
hmm
celebrities that could show off, bring more awareness to the sport. There's things that you could do. Doesn't have to be a particular part of the season, but maybe more fest something connected to it, and make the
yeah,
transition
I
to Olympic
do.
hockey better.
Yeah, I do like your idea how you said it like a tournament to have during that time, maybe for like the players who aren't going to the Olympics and like I don't know. Again, too, like obviously these players would have to say yes or no. Like they still get that right to decline playing in this, right? But yeah, just to have something, especially when the Olympics are over in like Europe or Asia, where the time difference is so different that like at nighttime we don't have anything to watch live in terms of the Olympics. It's only just replays because they're like sleeping or whatever,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So yeah, definitely in those ones, I would say yeah, having something in that time would be nice to watch.
You
But
don't want to
like I
watch
feel like a lot
curling
of
or
people
something like
too,
that,
like
right?
yeah, no, exactly. Not everyone's a big curling fan. Not everyone
No.
wants to see people sweep the ice and watch a rock slide down and end up in the house.
There you go. That's what you call it, eh? The house. Man, you can do curling videos now,
Yeah,
Steven. What is
that's the
this?
circle.
Look at that.
Call that.
I did not
Hey
know
man, I
that.
know curling. I
Wow.
don't mind curling. I can watch curling. I actually can.
Maybe with a good glass of beer, I could watch it. Shoot the shit with a friend.
Oh, it's always better with beer. It's always better with beer. Trust me.
Wow, look at that rock hitting another rock. Whoa, it went far. Oh my.
Oh man.